kicking it, Vision and Deja was getting it, signed the deal.
Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs' beef continues to escalate. In his latest song, Position of Power, which he co-wrote with Austin Sauer and Rain 910, Benny made fun of Freddie Gibbs, who's also known as the Black Mamba. The rapper claims that Gibbs is jealous of his success and implies that Gibbs' recent criticism of him was uncalled for. This all started back in March when Gibbs released a song called The Big Two, which also targeted J. Cole and JPEG Mafia. But today, Benny responded with a new track of his own. Rumors back home that we took some jewels, some shit that don't even cost a B on my chain. Benny the Butcher, the reason these rappers can't eat in this lane, he raps. For those who don't know, the two have been feuding since 2021 after Gibbs made a joke about Benny getting shot in the leg during a robbery attempt. Benny responded by calling Gibbs out for being a crack dealer and then later calling him a whack MC. The beef continued to heat up throughout 2022 until Gibbs accused Benny of stealing his necklace during an altercation in Buffalo, New York. Jeezy recently appeared as a guest on Carmelo Anthony's 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast. And because of their close relationship, Jay-Z was frequently mentioned. But the Atlanta MC also discussed some lost chances where Beyonce almost entered the conversation. Jeezy discussed Jay-Z's intervention strategies several times during the show, including abandoning the music video for Seen It All in favor of letting Bobby Shmurda's Hot take center stage. But one of the more significant instances of this occurred when Harv interrupted Beyonce's song Drunk in Love and added his own.
I don't know if y'all know, I dropped the ball when I wrote my verse for Drunk in Love for Beyonce.
Oh, wow.
Because I was on
I didn't even know he was on.
Oh yeah, your Hov called me. He's like, I took you off the song, by the way, I'm on there. I was like, I figured that.
Then Jeezy's Jay-Z story continued by recalling the only time he was in the studio with him.
LB, we need to put that out. You know what I'm saying? It's some vintage. Like, I've never been in the room with Hov. Only time I was in the room with Hov was when I wrote the Drunk in Love verse, and that was a mistake. Came in the room, she's like, you got something for this? You know, I'm going in. It sounded crazy. You know what I'm saying? This is her song, but I'm just trying to go hard. You know what I'm saying? He probably like, oh, no. We're not putting that out.
This verse appears to have never been released because it didn't fit the song's atmosphere or because Jeezy was simply too amped when recording it. In any case, it's an intriguing memory that demonstrates that working with other artists depends on the appropriate setting and timing. Jeezy recently stopped by Carmelo Anthony's show 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, where he discussed his first time meeting Jay-Z, his passion for the NFL, and of course, his collaborations with the hip-hop mogul. The two had a full day planned in Miami. They were gonna shoot the music video for their hit single Seen It All.
The realest nigga in this, y'all know it, kept it 100.
They had a whole treatment planned out. They were gonna fly into Miami on jets, shoot the first verse on the runway, then go to a pool party at Live and invite everyone out. But then Bobby Shmurda came along. Jeezy explained that Jay called him and said, yo, what's the name of that new Bobby Shmurda record? Hot Now Duo. And Jay was like, yeah, let's just let Bobby do his thing. And that's when Jeezy knew that their plans were scrapped.
Real story. Me, Hov, Ty, Emery, all sat in his office and wrote a treatment for the video. Was gonna fly in to Miami on jets, do it, the first verses on the runway, then we was gonna go do a party at Live and invite everybody for a pool party and do a show that night. This was happening. This was happening. And then Bobby Shmurda came. Cause he called me, he's like, all I'm here, was it hot nigga? He's like, I don't know, man. What? He's like, I don't know, man.
That flew in the air.
Yeah, I was just like, damn. He's like, let's let Bobby do his thing. I was like, shit. Damn. But it was gonna happen though. Shout out to Bobby.
Watch your man, then you should watch your mouth.
Nicki Minaj's cryptic tweets have fans convinced that she's throwing shade at Jay-Z and Roc Nation. The Queen rapper took to Twitter Thursday night and went on a little bit of a tweet storm, making a number of accusations that seem to be about The Rock. Many fans believe that Nicki's tweets were about The Rock, specifically referencing their alleged involvement in the Super Bowl. Nicki referenced her own verse on the Carter 6 remix, which calls on the NFL to fire some ends. She said, needing the barbs is at an all-time high for every distraction. So let me start talking about what I found out about him. Real juicy confirmations. Make a baby with banned from no. In another tweet, she said, they don't want you to see what I'm liking on Twitter. So that feature was demolished. Listening devices, cameras, car tags, pages you don't follow under the following section of X now. Do I get paid for that? She'll make a baby he banned from nor mix NFL fire some ends. Fans also believe that Nicki was referring to Desiree Perez, the CEO of Roc Nation, and her daughter, who is currently suing her for allegedly sending her to a mental hospital against her will. Memphis Bleek thinks Nicki Minaj is taking things too far, with her latest diss track aimed at Jay-Z, Nicki, and Lil Wayne should just chill out and adopt the Roc Nation stance with the NFL, says Jay's first musical protege.
I love Wayne. Wayne my brother, man. You know, me and Wayne put in that work at the same time. Much respect. Shout out to Carter 6. Go cop that, y'all. And as far as Nicki, I love Nicki too, man. I got no harsh words for the queen of rap. That's what she call herself, right? And I agree. She gets busy. But as far as like NFL fire some and call them, why? If they fire us, they don't need no more. So when we done, you ain't gonna be able to get that bag. Chill out. We cleaning up, baby girl. You should come clean up with us. Some people, you know, they dig themselves a grave and then they throw the dirt on top of themselves by keep antagonizing and mentioning stuff. It's like, let them come to you. Like, the more you want something, the more it runs from you. When you don't care about something, it's at your front door. Like, that's just the laws of nature.
On a recent episode of Drink Champs, Bleek also clapped back at Damon Dash's recent comments about him being a ghostwriter.
Dame was never in the studio with us, so I don't understand where he would get that logic from. And number two, why the ASCAP checks come to my house? They should be going to Sean Carter's, right? If he wrote them, I don't understand it. But if Jay want to write me some rhymes now, please do. I need a hot verse to get back so the youth can mess with me again, you know what I mean?
Bleek says he's the one getting the ASCAP royalty checks, not Jay. And while he admits he wasn't in the studio as much as Dame, so he doesn't know how the sausage was made, he does know that Dame has been on an anti-Rockefeller rampage for years. Bleek tells TMZ Hip Hop that everyone can win if they link up and work together, especially Weezy. He says instead of calling the NFL, let him call you. Bleek was in the streets of New York City. He was rocking a nice fur coat. It was cold. Bleek was with a female companion. They were just enjoying themselves. Bleek is denying all the allegations from the past, but he's also making it clear that times have changed. He's calling on Jay, Drake, Wayne, any ghostwriter who can make his rhymes that much tighter. This morning, Nicki Minaj made headlines by releasing the remix of Lil Wayne's song Banned from No. It seems sense that Nicki would contribute a verse to this song, which is among the more well-known tracks on Thought Carter's Gang. However, fans are dissecting the bars this morning, especially since there were a few shots thrown. For instance, in her verse, Nicki raps, "About to cop you slides, all you do is flip-flop. If I send a pic of Shannon, you ain't that sharp." In general, some fans couldn't understand why Nicki Minaj would be criticizing Shannon Sharp. There's a very excellent explanation for this though. The MC recounted on Twitter that Shannon had allegedly made fun of her by tweeting, "Nicki who?" She chose to get her revenge since she would never forget that. She added that because Chad Ochocinco is constantly with Sharp on Nightcap, she nearly sent a stray at him. Ultimately, she changed her mind. Nicki Minaj pokes fun at Jay-Z and the NFL in other parts of the song. Many people thought it was disrespectful that Lil Wayne was on the halftime show at this year's Super Bowl, which was held in New Orleans. Kendrick Lamar was given the accolade instead, which many found to be a contentious choice. NFL fire some menons and then call us Nicki raps on the song. While she isn't naming Jay-Z directly, the association is clear and fans are taking notice. It's encouraging to see Nicki Minaj back on the scene and releasing verses. The artist's absence from the original Thought Carter 6 version caused displeasure. It is therefore a pleasant surprise to receive this remix a few days later. We hope to hear from these two again soon.